Oh, will I?
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me, where we focus less on the dis and more on the ability of what we can do. Join us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, live on the Disability Global Broadcast and Facebook Live. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Well, it is time once again for My CP Does Not Define Me, episode 79. I am your host, D to the J with a roll away, and I am proud to say we are live on Facebook, but unfortunately, the Disability Global Broadcast has decided to not work so well, and we're trying to get that up, but it is not wanting to cooperate. So I am continuing to press buttons and hope to God that it decides to connect, but it is not. So as we are live on Facebook around the world and StreamYard, I would like to introduce one of my best friends. He is back there's a word for the English language, for part 2 of our conversation. We had Dan on quite a few months ago from Blackpool, England, all the way over there, as it were. So let me introduce my friend, Dan Taylor. Dan, how are you? Welcome to the show. Glad you're back.
Good evening, DJ. Can you hear me okay? Is everything working now?
Oh, yes. Everything is working. Everything is good. And you will never disappear again.
Oh, no, I won't go nowhere. No.
All right. So we are again live on Facebook as we welcome everybody to the show. Hey, Cindy, how are you? Nikki, how are you? Kim, how are you? Thank you for coming in.
Hello, everybody.
Dan, if you would, while we're intact and everything seems to be working properly, do us a favor and just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from.
Well, my name's Dan. I'm 44, just turned 44, and I'm from Blackpool, England, and I have a CP, very similar to DJ's, and I've had it all my life, basically, as we all know. So, what else do you want to know?
Well, I think we're twins, right? I mean, we've been, confused.
Well, although at the moment I'm looking a bit scruffy. I've got a bit of hair.
I had a bit of hair, but
which is very unusual for me. I don't know. I normally have a bit of a DJ cut. Yeah, at the moment it's growing, but it's not going to be going for long.
So you're able, you're wheelchair bound as well, but you're
I used to be up until very recently in a manual chair, but my shoulders have started to really play up. So I've had a power chair for the past 18 months.
Okay,
and it's very very strange.
So so the power chair is working out better for you.
It is. I should have done it a long time ago, but I was just too stubborn, really.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to give it up.
Less stress on the shoulders.
Oh yeah, a lot less stress on the shoulders, and it's a lot easier to get everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Now you're actually able to get around on the floor and move around pretty easy.
Well, that's what I do. I never use the chair in the house. I never use the chair in the bungalow. Mm-hmm. I'm always on my hands and knees. I'll get up from the floor to the bathroom and things like that. It's what I've always done.
Is that hard on the shoulders and the body now that you've gotten older and all of that?
No, I've got old and fat, and yeah, it's getting harder, yeah. But I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can.
That's the thing. Before I had serial casting done, I was on the floor and moving around and crawling, and I liked it. It was, but yeah. When I had the serial casting done, I had to learn how to dress different, how to move different, how to transfer different, and now my legs.
I don't actually know what that is. I've never heard of that before.
Well, serial casting, they start with your legs in one position, in the bent position, comfortably, and then every 2 weeks they straighten your legs by about 20 degrees or so, and they leave them in cast for a week. Right. And then they go to 2 weeks. But what they don't tell you is it causes very, very, very painful muscle spasms toward the end. And you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. So it worked and gave me a lot of length in my legs and strength in my legs. But Everything else just kind of went. You think you're getting down there again? You better.
Right.
Yeah, that
Right.
was the difference. So, um, let's talk about Blackpool a little bit. I've always wanted to go to England, and we've got a lot of people saying they love your accent as it is. As it There we are.
Well, I mean, originally, I'm not a Blackpool person. Originally, I'm from what they call the British Midlands. I'm from the West Midlands originally, from a very small country town, market town. Not a lot going on. I moved to Blackpool about 20 years ago, and to say it was an eye opener for me was an understatement, because they always call it the Blackpool is the Vegas of Great Britain. It was certainly very, very different. It's more cityfied. It's more gregarious. There's a lot going on. It's a seaside town, and it's kind of crazy, to be honest with you. It's kind of nuts, but I like it a lot. It's yeah.
Well, now I mean, is it kind of closed in, or is it what?
No, not really. But I mean, there's other areas as well. There's Fleetwood, there's Cleveland. Cleveland is what they call for the older end of the generational bit. You got a lot of grannies on scooters and things like that. But Blackpool is more for the what do they call it in America? Hen parties, frat parties.
Well, the thing about the little grannies
basically.
The thing about the little grannies on scooters, you can go racing and be like, "Hey, wait,
and also not being crude or anything, but the grannies can appreciate it sometimes as well.
Yeah, I've told you, several times off air that I've always wanted to come to Blackpool. I've always wanted to come to England in general, because it's one of my favorite countries, because of Camp Eastersill and the counselors that I used to have from England. Now, a couple of great things that we were kind of mentioning over there is the transportation. You were saying that you can go by, I believe it's train, from one end of the other, all the way from one end to the other end of England in one day.
Yeah, but don't forget, England is a lot smaller than where you are.
Well, that may be so, but doggone it, I want to do it. I want to get on the train and go from here to there and say I've seen all of England. That's it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, England may be small. Britain may be small. I should include Britain, because Britain, you include everybody, including the Scottish, the Welsh, and the Northern Irish. So, it's so varied. There's different communities, different people. It's really you'd love it here, to be honest, I think.
So now, and you can get transportation to go pretty much everywhere in England, as well as the
as well as buses, coaches, as long as you pre-book it. And you can get a wheelchair-friendly cabs in Blackpool everywhere, and they're on your doorstep within 10 minutes.
Wow, that is making it sound more and more fun. And all we need now is the money to go to England. If you'd like to contribute to my,
you know what you need to do? You need to set up a GoFundMe page. Get DJ to Britain.
I thought about it, but it seems a little tacky, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Wow, yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I know my friends are like, we're not going to pay for you to go to Britain.
I want to go on holiday. I want to go on vacation.
So let's talk a little bit about accessibility from where you are. Now, you call it a bungalow, but it's a one bedroom apartment. Is that?
No, it's a bungalow. There's no stairs. Obviously, there's a wheelchair ramp to get in the front door, and there's a wheelchair ramp to get at the back door. I've got a little patio at the back, a little square space, and it goes onto a communal garden where all the people you can go out at the back and socialise with your neighbours a bit. And they're all getting on a bit. They're all elderly around here.
Is it? How do I say it? Like compacted to where you have neighbors right beside you or above you, or
beside me, kind of. Yeah, I've got one neighbour kind of beside me, and another one a little bit further down the street. It's not like you've got loads of space around you, but it's what you're used to, isn't it? I suppose.
Kimberly asked, and I think I know what she's talking about. Have you seen the soldier people looking, the soldier looking people by you in the red vest with the big wigs, trying to make them laugh?
Yes.
That's an offense, is it? I mean, or you can get in trouble for that, can't you? I mean,
It has been known to, but yeah, I would say, yeah. I don't know, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
that's the where he's like, I don't know if I want to talk about that one. That is going to be a tough job, man. I don't know if to stand in one position all day and show no expression, like.
Well, they're training. I mean, they get into so much bother. They really get into serious trouble if they do make any, I mean, I don't know if they showed on the news where you are.
Mm-hmm.
They were marching through, I don't know, street in London, doing a parade, and a young kid got in the middle of the march, and the soldier just kept going because he had to. He's not allowed to avoid. He warned the kid to get out of the way. He was a tourist, but he couldn't stop. He was not allowed to stop. He would have stopped if he could have stopped, but he couldn't stop.
So did the kid go with him, or did he get out of the way? Or
probably got trampled a bit.
Ooh, yeah.
Because he's not allowed, obviously, you can warn someone who's in front of you, but you can't hold the parade up.
Siobhan, he's actually from Blackpool, England. And he was saying that he was, before Blackpool, you were in what's called the
West Midlands.
West Midlands?
Yeah. A place called Bromsgrove near Worcestershire, in between Birmingham and Worcester. So I can't see the comments. Where do I see that?
I can actually show you some of them as they pop up.
Okay.
I was kind of answering them as they come in, but
you're the host, you're the boss.
Oh, Siobhan said her mother-in-law is from the East End.
That's down London. That's down the London way, isn't it?
So, all right, now this one, and I kind of wanted to get into this. We're going to get into it a little bit early. What made you decide to move to Blackpool? Because you said you were in the one area, and you defined it as an eye opener. What was eye-opening about moving to Blackpool and going into that?
Well, I mean, I'm a country kid, really. I'm from a country town, and it's very quiet, very fields around us, and cornfields and tractors and things like that. And I moved from there to like quite a big town with things going on that I didn't even know went on. And it was like, whoa. My dad was an engineer for 27 years. And his company he worked for, the entire town revolved around, went to the war, went into administration.
Wow.
So he had to find work. So we moved as a family to Blackpool to become hoteliers.
Now you, what is it, especially in that 20-year gap, looking at where you were in the West Midlands there, what was it like growing up with CP for you? I mean, to get into the disability a little bit. How was that for you?
My growing up was very sheltered because I went to what they call we call it here went to a special school where people with disabilities went to school together in the surrounding areas. I went from the age of 3 up to the age of 17. So you you educated to a certain level, but you couldn't be too educated because you had to be in a similar the classes with people that didn't have as much ability as maybe you did have or could have done. Whereas now it's more inclusive, so you go to mainstream schools now,
right?
So it's not like it used to be.
And were you in the same school? So you were in the same school until the age of 17?
Yeah. And then I went to college. I went away to college for 2 years, And
What
I
was
did media studies stuff and TV and video and all that stuff. That was also a good time as well. From the
see,
age of 7.
that's where you're getting into kind of where we are very similar. We
Yeah.
talked about, some of that, as you were growing up. What were your did you have a lot of friends in going through school, or what was that like?
Yeah, we kind of all went through school together. So from the age of 3
Mm-hmm.
up to 17, you stayed with your with your mates really. So I had a really good friend of mine from the age of 3 when I met him at school, and we were friends ever since. But unfortunately, he died early this year.
Yeah, that's.
Which broke my heart. Really, it really did break my heart.
I remember that conversation. You and I were
He
talking.
had spina bifida, so
Mhm.
slightly different, but
Right.
he was just my buddy. And
so that closeness, with the people that you have, I mean, do you still talk to some of the mates that you went to school with?
oh yeah,
Back in that.
mainly through Facebook. But as I say, with my friend who I was very close to, we spoke every day, almost like over the phone, because he still lived in the Midlands, and I lived up here, and it was 2 hours away.
Now the cool thing though is you can go visit him if you want to, hop on the train.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's the one thing. I mean, we have transportation over here, that we can get to places, but it's like you got to get off of one bus and get on another one, and
yeah,
you.
And also you can book wheelchair assistance as well, so someone can meet you outside the station. They can escort you or push you or whatever, push you to the train, get the ramp at the train, and they'll push you up. Make sure you're secure, and off you go.
That is all. Now we're gonna get into something a little bit heavier, which I don't believe we got into much last show. What now? What do you do for work? I think we didn't talk about that yet.
I am a civil servant. I work for the British government. I'm just a administrator. I work for one of the benefit agencies.
Okay. Now you were telling me, and I was just enthralled by this. My jaw dropped about 9 feet. You got to see the crown jewels be put away.
Yeah.
And that is a giant ceremony.
Yeah.
Can you talk just a little bit about that, kind of what it meant? And
it's not secretive because people know about it, but you have to be invited. You have to get invited by I don't know what you call it. You have to request to go to see it. And our class went as a group one year. We were about 13, I think, and we were invited to see the ceremony where they put the crown jewels away at night. And it's a ceremony that's been going on for hundreds of years, and it's only been missed once during World War II, and that was only by about an hour. It's a big, you got the last post, and it's all very done late at night as well. So it's dark, atmospheric. It's very eerie because you're in the Tower of London, and it's when you think of thousands of people have seen that it's been going on for hundreds of years. It's quite amazing. It gives you goosebumps.
What was the experience like for you at 13 years old to be able to experience something like that?
Oh, it was incredible. Absolutely. I mean, I didn't think I'd feel as moved as I did. It was like, whoa, what? And when the Beefeater explained what the ceremony was about and the importance of it, and how it had only ever been missed once, in the 50 years, since World War II. One that it's like, what? It's been going on hundreds of years.
That's amazing.
And that's for me being a Brit. Do you know what I mean?
Now, have you gotten to see the Queen of England, or have you gotten to?
No.
Because I'm the talkative person. I'd be like, hello.
And the only way you know that she's going to be around is if she's in a bright colour. That's why she's always in a bright colour. because she wants people to, as many people as she can, to see her. So
That
always
is
in the bright color.
I remember Diana. I was always so fascinated with Princess Diana. I was like, every time she would come on TV, my world would just stop. Like that's Princess Di, and you just it's almost majestical, for me to see. I think it's done with such, and I don't know if pizzazz is the word for me, but it's so almost magical, like to see an event that is held by a country. It's kind of like, when every football game, the flyover, you see that it really does bring closeness to us as a country, to you as a country, because we're not so different.
Not really, no.
When you and I met, and this was the most shocking thing I'd ever heard, and I stand by this still. I'm the first American that you ever talked to.
Yeah.
I could not fathom. I said, what?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, what? Like, come on.
Yeah.
And we hit it off instantly. It was almost creepy.
Yeah, it was. We couldn't get over it, could we? How similar personality we were. It's it's made a big difference to my life.
But just, I mean, even your family, and to hear about some of the things that you've gone through with having to get your chair, because you guys have great healthcare over there where you get what you need, and I think
we look very lucky in that way.
Very lucky. I think especially when it comes to disabilities, healthcare is so needed, and the proper healthcare to where you can get seen and you can get the equipment that you need. Now, it's not going to be the top of the line super super duper stuff.
Yeah,
but
they give you what you need or what they think you need.
In the sense of, this is how this goes. This is what this is. This is how you get what you need, because you have professionals that come like over here, and they meet with you, and the physical therapist and the OTs come
That's
over, and they do a evaluation, as you would call it.
Yeah.
So, but I think that to where you don't have to fight for it and to hope you get it. Over here, it's like, well, we'll put it through, but
don't get me wrong. You got waiting times. I've had to wait 3 years for this chair I've got now.
Really?
I had to wait 3 years for it because I was bottom of the list. So you have to wait. You have to be patient.
Wow. Now so you had a 3-year waiting period?
Yeah.
We had
They gave me a second-hand chair to be going on with.
Uh-huh.
But if I wanted a brand new chair, I had to wait 3 years for it.
Ah, okay. Now, so here's the thing. So you had something to get you by from point A to point B.
Yeah.
But you got the chair that you needed. It just took a long time.
Yeah.
See, our waiting periods are about 6 months to a year. So, because you can only get through Medicaid or Medicare, you can only get a chair every 5 years.
Yeah. So it's very similar. It's kind of similar, really. I had 3-year waiting list for my new one, so it's
someone, let's see. Cindy asked how we. Let's see. That's awesome. That's amazing. Cindy asked, how did we meet? We actually, that's a story right there. We were, Dan, I believe you contacted me.
Yeah, I was looking for, I don't know, I was kind of reaching out for someone with also with CP, because not only have I got CP, but my younger sister has as well. She's 5 years younger than me, and she's more able than I am. She can walk. She had stuff done when she was a kid, and she was able to get up and walk.
Right.
And I was like DJ. He puts himself out there to inform people, to encourage people to ask questions, and I just saw one of his recordings, And I thought, I'm going to get me a piece of that because we kind of look alike as well. So,
when we first met, when we say look alike,
yeah. I know I've got hair at the moment. I don't know.
I took a screenshot
Yeah.
of the two of us, and we were both wearing the same colored shirt.
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh, this is creepy."
Yeah.
But it's fun because
yeah.
I think that, as I said, that's what my CP is all about. My CP does not define me. For you to reach out to me and for our first conversation was like 2 hours long because it was so awesome to be able to kind of bounce back and forth and say, well, how is it over there? Because over here we do this. And how is it over there? Because we're both finding out about each other. And the only way you're going to know is to ask the question.
Yeah.
So Dan kept saying, this is amazing because we have a messenger and we can talk back and forth. And I didn't realize there was like a 5-hour time difference. So it's like, 1 o'clock in the morning over there. And I'm like, it's like, 6 or 7. And I'm like, man, I could talk. He's like, well, it's about 2 a.m. I'm like, what? and just, and we just became, best friends ever since and have been, I'm gonna make it my opportunity to come over to Blackpool because I that's on the bucket list right there, man.
We're not gonna get up to anything bad, are we, DJ?
Well, I can't guarantee that one. That one might not be broadcast, folks. I might be in a pub somewhere, just laid across a couple of couches. Just now, just to kind of, a lot of people have misconceptions about that. That is a gathering place to get together, not just to drink and eat, but there's actually it's a meeting place for people to sit and chat and just be together.
What is
the pub?
Oh yeah, no, you haven't got. You're not going out just to get steamboated. No, it's a meeting place. People eat food. You get together, you eat, you have a meal. No, you're not going out to get.
No. Kim said, "Do you mean getting arrested?" No, I don't think it's gonna come to that part.
Well, we don't know.
I tell you, it is amazing how fast our friendship has developed. We talk once or twice a week usually. That's the amazing thing. So how has 2022 been for you? I know 2021 was tough with COVID and everything. How have you been with the vaccinations and
I've had all 3 of mine. My first 2 were AstraZeneca, and my booster was Moderna, I think. Yeah, I've been okay. I've had no symptoms whatsoever, and I'm lucky, touch wood, that I haven't had anything. So I've been all right. I've been at work as well, so I haven't been one of these that stayed at home, or I've been going into work every day.
Well, and we might as well talk about it, because I'm one of the people. And I believe, and I say this, and a lot of people look at me like, "Oh, you're crazy, man! I ain't doing all that." If the government mandates a rule that you should wear a mask and you should glove up, it's going to be for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to see people get sick. I don't want to see people get hurt.
No, last thing I want to do is I don't want to give anybody anything that might kill them.
Right. I mean, this as deadly as this thing is. I love this comment. That's great. You guys were able to meet that way. It's always nice when you can put yourself out there to meet people that you can identify with.
Yeah.
And in saying that, Cindy, we were very quickly able to just immediately connect with, oh, wow, you did this and I did that. And then you did this and I did that. And it was, we're thousands of miles away. But you look at the similarity of, well, you need this. Have you tried this? And you thought about this? Well, we do it a little bit different because it's the knowledge that you don't know. A little bit of knowledge goes a long way, but what you don't know is really the icing on the cake to meet somebody that knows something that you don't, and that can give you a step in the right direction. Dan had a problem, I believe, with his footrest, and we were trying to figure it out. So I got on Skype and I said, all right, here's what I would do. Da, 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 da. And I took off my footrest and I showed him how my footrest worked, because he's got the little plastic ones that pop, and I used to
snap.
have them.
Yeah, because I'm too bloody heavy. That's why.
And we kind of talked about, everybody doesn't know, the wheelchair equipment and how to get it, and it just to really be able to identify with somebody and say, let me help you by doing this, try this.
Makes a difference.
It's much different when you have somebody just like, my thought was, man, I really want to go to England, and Dan's like, well, why not? I mean, save the money up, come over, pay for your flight, and come over. I'm like, just come over there. It's like, yeah, come over here. And I'm just like,
why not? What's to stop you?
I think, to make a dream happen, and the power of imagination is Steve Harvey said, your imagination is the preview to coming attractions in your life. And so many people will let someone else shut down an idea for them before they ever have a chance to experience it. Let's see. Kim said this. Call me crazy, but spell the word COVID, and we have everyone except for the letter V. Maybe after the letter V, COVID will be over. I'm looking for COVID to be over, and once it's done, it's done. It's spreading so fast, and these new variants,
but then again, the variant is weaker, so
it's weaker, but it's more contagious.
Yeah.
See, and that's where you
keeps getting weaker. Maybe next year.
Yeah, So what are you looking to do in 2022? Is there something that you have?
I don't really know, to be honest. I'm just happy to be doing what I normally do, because we couldn't do much of that last year, because we had 5 months stuck in the house because of the restrictions.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be back to normal, really, in a way.
That's a question I want to ask you, and this one, I think we talked about this a little bit on the last show. Was there ever am I normal for you? Did you ever go through the moment of, am I going to be normal, or?
Oh no, I always knew that I always knew I was different. And I when I was a teenager, I was very frustrated by my CP. I didn't like it. I didn't. I'm not one of these that could embrace it or make it part of you. So I can now because I'm older. But when I was,
what did it take for you to embrace it?
Realizing I couldn't change it, no matter how stubborn I wanted to be or how independent I wanted to be. I needed someone to. Sometimes you just need that little bit of help. Even though I was very, very proud, really. Too proud. That's why I didn't have a power chair until I was in my 40s. So.
To be, once you realize it and you accept it, and you become one with it, what did that do for you? Did it make it easier?
Oh, it made my life lighter. I didn't feel I wasn't so serious about things. I could actually laugh at myself and laugh at, I wasn't always thinking of, got to try and prove myself. Got to try and, I be better than anybody else. And I wasn't, but I thought,
once you accepted it, what became easier? What did you realize?
Meeting people. Actually meeting people. Mixing with people. Because I didn't trust anybody. I didn't trust I was very into myself, trying to prove to other people that I could manage on my own, doing this, that, the other. Didn't need anybody.
Was there a barrier there? Was there a wall there that you set up? Because because of your CP?
Yeah. Because I knew I was different. I knew I looked different. I felt different. And I didn't embrace what was good about myself, really. You know? And in a way, I kind of wasted my teenage years. Instead of going out and enjoying myself and being, a kid and doing all the stuff things kids do, I was too busy being serious.
How we got a question. Milton said, "How long have you been in the chair?" Now you had the manual until
Probably up to when I was 40. So, but I think I had the first power chair about 4 years ago, 2016. That was the second hand one, the one that and I've had my new one about 18 months.
Kind of talking with you here. For me, I wanted to be everywhere. When I was angry, I went through that mad at myself. I'll never be, I want to be normal.
Yeah.
I want to be different. I want to be, why can't I be,
Yeah.
Why can't I walk? Why can't I? Once
Yeah.
I accepted it, I realized that, and here's where I think kind of the same a little bit. I wanted everybody to like me.
Yeah.
And I had to accept the fact and understand the fact that it's okay that not everybody likes you. Because it's some people like butterscotch ice cream, some people like
You don't always rub people up the right way, do you?
Great comment, Josh. Great comment right here. I think teenage years were tough for everybody with CP.
Yeah.
Being being a teenager is bad enough, but when you add a disability on top of it,
oh yeah,
it multiplies everything.
Well, I don't know about you, but all I wanted to do when I was a teenager is have some young lady notice me, and more than one.
Good question here. Milton asked, "Can you walk at all? Can you walk some?"
No. I used to walk on crutches with hoops on until I was about 11, and they screwed my hips up. I had an operation, and they screwed my hips up, and I've not been able to weight better properly.
It's as Siobhan said, "Well, they notice you now." Let me just.
Oh yeah, he's looking smart. I'm looking at scruff because I forgot I was coming on today. That's why I'm looking a bit rough today, so I apologize.
Oh no, you're fine, my friend. You're fine. It is amazing to. I think that people forget that image means a lot to everybody. Milton said, when I was a teenager, a lot of people didn't know much about my disability. When we had Milton on the show, that was something that, you come in, 1944,
Yeah. Oh wow.
The growth, and knowledge of the medical profession has come so far.
Oh God, yeah. Even when I was born, when I was born, my mother was advised by the doctors to put me in an institution because I'd never be able to. Even that was, it's only 44 years ago, and there's no way my mother would do that.
I'm so glad you said that because, as I said, this is a conversation, and this show. We talk about things. We have things that we're going to talk about, but I'm not writing down topics to talk about. What comes out of Dan's mouth is fuel for questions that come.
Oh, yeah.
And to hear that. Now, here's the thing. And a lot of people outside of the cerebral palsy community don't realize it's not genetic.
No.
It's a birth defect, but it does not mean that the person cannot do anything. And there's so many people back in that state of mind talking about, oh, we should just put them here. or
Yeah.
stick them here so they're not thought about or
Yeah.
forgotten.
For good.
And
Get
that's
on with your
not
life.
the way to be. That's not the way to be.
No.
Because we are people too. And you look at the difference in 40 years ago, stem cell wasn't a thing. Neurostimulators weren't a thing.
Yeah.
That, you've got so much
Yeah.
that has changed in the medical world that, with all the new disabilities with
I mean,
Asperger's.
it does make me wonder if it may be next generation or the generation after there'll be kids born with CP, because they'll be able to get on top of it earlier to ease the spasticity. You know what I mean?
Eventually, because a lot of it is the big issue there is they've got to make sure that oxygen is getting to the brain.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem lies with cerebral palsy. There is a time frame where oxygen is, deprived. And when you talk about 60 seconds without oxygen, that's where the brain starts going, hello, the warning signs start going off.
Yeah.
Need air, and it's like, then you're 2 and 3 minutes and you're turning blue and your body's going,
yeah.
And it's not, but to get to that point to where, okay, we can see inside now, we can look through this type of ultrasound, and this is everything good? Is the blood oxygenated? There's so much. Thank you, Milton. I appreciate that. Is there enough there? The medical profession is growing, but now here's the thing: when new things are presented, do you find people freak out like, I'm not doing that? That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to have metal put in my body. I'd never do that. Yeah. I'm not going to have a cow limb over here. I'd never do. There has to, you have to keep an open mind when it comes to new medical professions.
Too right. Someone's got to take the risk.
If you don't, and you close-minded and you don't look at the picture as a whole, you're going to destroy your chance before you ever start. Now, this is a big question that I ask a lot of the cerebral palsy community. And I want to mention this. I had to do an essay when I was in school and when I was in college on they called it the magic fix. They said if you were given a pill today, and I was 23 then, to fix your CP and to be perfectly normal, as it were, in the English accent to the best of my ability. To be perfect in every way, to where you. But see, here's the thing.
It wouldn't be me then.
See why I said we're similar? I didn't even. Exactly. It
wouldn't be me.
My CP it does define me in some ways. And I had to learn that as
this is my opinion on my CP, right? I think my CP gives me a natural empathy to people, a natural understanding of other people's issues. No, honestly, that's not me. That's my CP, because I know how to deal with my own issues. My own issues. I think I'm hoping I got a lot of empathy for others.
But to have, I think if you take it a step further, I've got to watch I catch myself copying his accent very, very.
He does.
I can't help it. I draw into it really.
I like yours, man. I like yours, man. Yeah, I do like yours a lot. Yeah.
Wow. I think if you take empathy a step further, to truly, no one is truly going to understand it unless they experience it.
No.
You know, you can have someone say, "Oh, I broke my leg. I know what you're going through." A broken leg heals.
Yeah.
You may understand a piece of it, but you're not going to understand the puzzle until you put it together.
No.
So you're talking about empathy, just to kind of go off of that. To understand a person, everybody has problems. Even somebody who is quote unquote perfectly normal,
Yeah, they might be nuts.
they might be nuts. I mean, you know, off the, and you're not going to know because
No.
you haven't walked a
Not obvious,
mile
is it?
in their shoes. You know, the
Yeah.
funny thing about this is, and in this part of the show, we've hit a very large nail. I want to be this way. Okay. Just because we have cerebral palsy does not mean we cannot experience life in our own way,
Oh yeah.
with our own filter. We just have to find a way to do it. Now let me read Siobhan's comment here. Now, you talk about somebody powerful. Siobhan's a bodybuilder, and she is amazing. She says, "Hey guys, great show. It's always DJ. Thank you, Dan. It was great to meet you. I have to go. My trainer is on the phone, so we're about to talk business. Take care, both of you. Love you, Siobhan. Thank you, thank you, thank you." I, you know, I look at life, and your amazing outlook on this was, if they took away CP, and I was quote unquote normal, it wouldn't be me.
No.
That is the piece. That's the hardest.
It's yeah.
Piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
To come to.
Yeah.
For years, I looked at my life and I'm like, why can't I be this way?
Yeah.
Why can't I be this way? Why can't I do this? The question is not why not. It's how. And that's the perspective change, because it's the mindset of where you are. It is the mindset of what you're doing. It is the mindset of what you're speaking in that level. Now, there's two comments here. Cerebral palsy doesn't heal. We just adapt.
No, I thought I can adapt to most situations. I find that I can do that quite well. And I know, yeah.
But what is normal anymore? I just wish the outside world would accept people with disabilities. We are all human and beautiful in our own unique way.
Yeah.
That's it. But for people to accept, they have to be willing to listen. And I think that is, people that.
Well, I think society's getting it's a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, I in some ways, and in some ways, it's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're in a chair.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me just roll over your foot one more time, and we'll make sure that those pain receptors know what I'm talking about. There's a couple of comments. There's a couple of comments I want to read here. Cerebral palsy doesn't heal, we just adapt. Now, Sean said this: people don't understand us until they live our CP lives.
But they ain't going to do that, are they?
The only normal I know is on the washer dryer. Wow. that is a great point right there.
I could put that on a cup, couldn't I?
The only normal I'm aware of is on the washer dryer. Great point. Sean, it's not that we can't. We just have to figure out how. It's just what I was talking about. So many people look at an obstacle and they say, I can't do that. It's not that you can't. It's not that you can't. You have to get the can't out of the vocabulary. You have to stop thinking I can't, because when you think I can't, you shut yourself down and you disconnect. It's just like I said earlier in the show. Your imagination is the preview to coming attractions in your life. Steve Harvey said that. How many times you go to a movie and you watch the previews and you go, I want to see that. Well, here's the way to think about that. Your imagination is your imagination. No one else can see it but you until you bring it out into reality. No one else can see your imagination as to what you want to do until you bring your imagination and your thoughts and your ideas into your reality.
Mm.
And if somebody else doesn't see your imagination, that's all right. They haven't sat in the theater long enough.
Very true.
That's you've got to. I've said this 1,000 times. The only way to change a can into a can is to drop the T and get it done.
Yeah, you want to do something badly enough, you got to do it. Even if it takes years of saving up, we'll get to meet.
Exactly. I'm going. I've already made up my mind. I don't care if I have to sell a kidney. One ticket to England, please.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the major point of I have spent my whole life, most of it, with the exception of the last 20 years, figuring out where I belong.
Oh yeah.
And the most amazing thing is it's right here. It's these moments where the people are listening to shows like this and go, you know what? I get it.
Yeah.
It makes sense. They have told us we can't for so long.
Oh yeah.
The sad part about it is when somebody tells you something long enough,
you do believe it.
You start believing it. But the problem is when you introduce negativity into life, and you keep bringing it to a negative standpoint, you're only going to get a negative reaction. And you have to stop that, because to change it into positive perspective.
And only you can do it.
Gonna finish my statement again.
Sorry.
No. I said we were very similar. If you speak negative, you're going to get a negative reaction. The only person that can change it is you.
Yeah.
Because nobody can do it for you.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely going to have Dan back for a part 3. I don't know when it's going to be, because I love your outlook, man. I think it's awesome. Just keep doing what you're doing. I want to give you the floor, though, really quick. Any final words, final thoughts for our viewers out there?
Well, I mean, just that everyone is in a similar sort of boat. Everyone has different things going on in their lives. We are all here to help each other. That's what we should be doing. We should be reaching out to other people with CP, similar sort of situation, and discuss things. We can help. That's all we ever want to do is, and have a bit of a giggle as well, have a laugh about it as well, and just.
It's okay to laugh. Goodness gracious! Every time you laugh, this is a medical fact. Look it up. Yeah. Every time you laugh, you burn 3 calories.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I knew that was what I needed to do.
I mean, that's the exercise of exercises. Yeah. So listen, just to throw this out there, we're definitely gonna have Dan back. Dan, stay with me after the show. Don't go anywhere. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, your comments, your questions. This has been a great show, and we have hit a very, very sensitive topic about dealing with our own stuff. Okay, and that in itself, we all have issues. Everyone on this show has issues. Cindy says, I love Dan's outlook on life. I do too. That's one of the things that kind of binded our friendship. We very, very, very quickly realized that we're two of the same people. Yeah. And it is very rare to go to another country and say, that guy looks like me. Yeah. That guy talks like me. That guy thinks like me. Wait a minute. Is that me? And it's It's an honor to have you, my friend, my brother. I love you to death. I do. I just
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
doing
It
this is
really is.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got a friend to do it with. Guys, if you want to be a guest on the show, do me a favor. Email me, CarterDJ85@gmail.com. You can follow me on 3 YouTubes, Cooking with DJ Carter. Worth the Wait Cooking with
Cooking's
DJ
good. Love
Carter.
the cooking.
Yep. You see, My CP Does Not Define Me. Also, Chairmaster Games is up and running again, so check that one out. Instagram, My CP Does Not Define Me. Twitter, My CP Does Not Define Me at Minion Sports. My blog, CarterDJ85 at Wixsite.com. And my new TikTok is going to be launching in about a week. My CP Does Not Define
You got
Me.
TikTok.
I'm on the TikTok now, yes. So we're going to have that available as well.
Awesome. There we go.
I don't know how much the clock is going to be moving, but it's going to be TikToking, though. I can tell you that. If you guys would like to talk about a topic on the show, please email me suggestions. But when you email me, please put your name in the subject line. And also, if you would, please send a picture and a short bio about yourself so that I can interview you on Sunday before the show, and then we can go from there. But just because you email me, that does not mean you're automatically locked in to be on the show. I have to do the interview first, and that's how it works. So next week will be show 80 of My CP Does Not Define Me. 80 episodes. Good Lord.
That's amazing.
We're looking at almost 4 years on the show now.
Wow.
It has been great. Thank you guys so much for listening and for supporting. My CP Does Not Define Me. We are going to be making some changes with backgrounds and green screens and all these other stuff. We've got a lot of things coming, so just stay tuned. A lot of interesting guests, new people, returning guests. Some have been on one time, some have been on twice, some have never been on. So we're going to have some very, very, very amazing people to come to the show. And as I always say, this is D to the J with a roll away. If you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. We will see you next week. Dan, hang with me. We'll be right with you.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me. As always, you can catch us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the Disability Global Broadcast and Facebook Live. If you haven't already checked out our YouTube channel, My CP Does Not Define Me, we post all of the show videos in our My CP playlist. I'm your host, D to the J with the roll away. And if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. We'll see you next week.